All right, welcome to week 5, Tarkir Dragonstorm League. We got our weekly feature matches. We got a very powerful lineup of players here today, as we'll talk about as we go on. And we have a powerful commentator as well, joining for the first time, I believe. You said Jordan M. How's it going tonight?
Going well. Good to be here. Thought I'd give it a try, see if I can give some insight. But the alternative of you all realizing that I don't know what I'm talking about and I've just gotten super lucky is basically exactly my style of comedy.
I would be surprised if that were the case, but you can start by telling us what's going on over there in the hand of Chris R. Sinkwater.
Yeah, so not lacking for power and also very focused. He's got a hand of all red and white cards, so looking like Boros aggro. Um, I think we'll find out if there's a splash and a turn here.
Yeah, so he's over there repping the Mardu. Over here, we got Nick S, another longtime league regular. He's repping the Teamer. This should be a close matchup as far as the decks. They have, last I looked, they were literally one after the other in the standings. So Chris is at 14-7 and Nick at 14-8. So expecting a good match here. Looks like he is splashing at least some blue there for Jeskai cards.
Yeah, surprise Jeskai Splash. There are quite a few islands in the deck, so still haven't seen a blue card, but I'm expecting a fair number.
All right. What kind of spells does he have in hand here?
He's got a couple role player creatures. So he's got this devotee. He's got the Riling Dawnbreaker, which is the 3/4 dragon that can omen to make a 2/2. He's got a Timely Horde Mate. But then he's also got a Mardu Heartpiercer, the raid that deals 2 damage, and then maybe most excitingly has an invasion of Tarkir
Ooh, that's a bunch of
battle.
bunch of cards from the alternate set here. So spice it up
Yeah,
perhaps. Yeah, Nick's hand pretty straightforward. He's got a scavenger region as a threat, and he's got a dragon's prey and a strategic betrayal. So he's got removal and a threat, but it's looking to potentially going to be running out of cards after that.
yeah. So one funny interaction is that the devotee scryed 2, and then the dragons, which let him also play the omen, but the omen shuffled his library. So he had a Windcrag Siege on top.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like in theory, you would do it the other way, but he couldn't because he only had one white land, so it had to be that way.
Correct.
All right, so Nick just says, "Let me get rid of these creatures here, so I can proceed with the game." He did draw a purging Stormbrood, so that's the black one. Can't cast it as of yet. We'll need another land, but he will be able to deal with threats here with his removals.
And unfortunately for Chris, getting rid of both creatures on the battlefield means that he can't trigger raid. He both his creatures.
Yeah,
Um,
he's
so
just gonna play kind of a sad 2-3 here for 4. You hate to
yeah,
see it, but he'll at least be able to trigger his. Oh, I was gonna say he will at least be able to trigger his raid, but not with this Stormbrood coming in with a counter from the globe here.
yeah, we do have a
Okay.
detainment to take care of this. Seems like Nick is kind of struggling on finding lands. Does he have
I mean, he got his land here
multiple
for a
expensive stuff?
Stormbrood, and he still has the 2 removals in hand. So looks like he'll at least have things to do for the next couple turns. And he's also got a 5/5 here with Ward, so that ain't bad.
No.
I'm guessing
His
Chris
hand
is
does
not able
not.
to remove this.
It does not. His hand does not line up well against big creatures. He had this heart piercer. He has this dragon fire. He has this invasion of Tarkir. It's all things that deal 2 damage.
Yeah. So So he's going to play the strategic betrayal here. Like neither of the creatures are that great, but he gets to nab the channel Dragonfire that's in the graveyard as well.
It also screws up the timely horde mate. There's nothing to return anymore. So
Yeah. So these raid creatures, I mean, when you're on the front foot and you're the one asking the questions, these raid creatures can create a lot of advantage. But when you're not, we're seeing they're just overcosted creatures that don't have text on them for the most part. Like, I mean,
yeah,
does he play a 3/2 here? I mean, you kind of have to. Yeah.
he's gonna run it out. He drew a Draconic Roar, so another sort of small damage dealing spell that he can't even combine with the invasion because of the ward.
Ooh, yeah.
Um, but
So
I imagine his plan is to try to play the invasion and flip the invasion. I forget the exact amount of uh, loyalty or whatever it's called.
on the yeah, so when it comes, it deals 2 damage to any target, and it's some kind of a dragon on the backside.
Yeah,
So here it comes. Looks like it's gonna do away with the Haruspex here, which was a nice pickup, but ultimately not long for this world.
really a great uh, target for versus removal.
Yeah, and I mean, unlike some other cards like that, it does not trigger off itself. So no card drawn here for Nick.
Clearly a card from 2014.
So Nick is
Never made.
he's considering: do I use the removal now or do I? I mean, he could have let it flip and just destroyed the dragon, I suppose. Because now he still might have to face down the dragon on the other side, and he has redrawn his scavenger region. It's back.
Oh wow. Okay, that's
That is, I mean, I don't know the contents of his deck, but I imagine that was one of the better things he could have picked up here. Two 5/5
so
dragons with ward
unfortunately,
seems favorable.
even if you flip the invasion, it's just a 4/4
Yeah, I remember it being a four
creature.
four. I don't remember the exact abilities,
Um,
but
I think it's like whenever you attack with a dragon, deal damage.
okay. Yeah, so we got a pretty straightforward Mardu deck here from Nick. Seems mostly split. White is the least of his colors. Seems like it's just there for some removal, some gold cards, and a couple of rares.
Okay, well, I can now see um, Chris's full deck. So did have around like 7 blue cards,
Hmm,
although he just got rid of 2 treasure cruises. But it was treasure cruises. Uh, Winter Night Stories is a great draw spell. He has Chico, the Jeskai
all
Mythic
right,
Dragon,
pretty good.
um, and then a couple other solid cards. Also, an Expansion Explosion, which is fun to see. Um,
Ooh, yeah, yeah. Whenever one of those cards comes up from the bonus sheet, I'm like, oh, cool. Or not the bonus sheet, but the alternate set.
Tarkir Reforged.
Yeah, we
I
got
know it well.
we. I mean, I'll be drafting it in a later this week, so looking forward to that. Seen some fun stuff so far, and what I've seen of the drafts.
Yeah, it seems like they've gone pretty well so far, which I'm definitely happy to see.
Yeah, so there
Um,
are 8 white cards here for Nick. They're all uh, like gold cards or rares or removal. So yeah, that's kind of like what you see, what you expect from most of the like decks calling themselves 3 colors in this set. Like they're just splashing for gold cards and removals basically. The ones that are
yeah,
3 colors. I mean, we have the subsets that are 4 and up colors, but I've seen quite a lot of 3 color deck that I would say would fit this description.
yeah.
Oh,
I would say at this point in the league, most people would probably be well served by going to more strict 3 colors, but I've definitely seen some 4 and 5 color decks do well.
yeah, I've been on the fence. I was playing 3 color, then I went to 4 color, then I went back to 3 color. I'm still not sure which is the most correct, but yeah, it's kind of been it's been up in the air. I think a lot of people have been at that spot. Like, do I just throw in more cards because the fixing is so abundant. It's like, your mana base doesn't get worse by adding colors, which in most formats it does.
Just needing to mulligan
Yeah.
because of his colors had 2 islands and uh, really nothing castable.
Okay, we got
This one is
yeah, Nick Sands is pretty reasonable.
better.
What's he looking at now?
So Chris is looking at a hand that can uh, probably cast everything in his deck, but right now he doesn't have all that much that's exciting to cast. He's got Stormplane Detainment and a War Effort, but no creatures.
The rest are, I guess, some amount of lands.
And the rest are lands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of a slow hand here for Nick. He could have played his Dream Drinker Vampire. That's the MH3 lifelink creature, but he opted to go for the tap land so he could play his Dragonstorm Globe and then start playing dragons because he's got a Scavenger Regent and a Sonic Shrieker, and he does have the fourth land to cast either of them. So looks like he's going to be putting on the pressure here with some scary dragons. He's also got a Molten Exhale to get rid of a threat at some point if need be.
Yeah, interesting to see what he does against a pack beasts. Nick doesn't know this, but the war effort will make it a lot more threatening. But a
Yeah.
5/5 dragon will also be able to just block.
Yep, that's the hope. I mean, he was thinking of maybe doing Molten Exhale and Dream Drinker Vampire, but I mean, this is just I think just in most cases a better play. I mean, last week we saw the Pack Beast go absolutely off when I think it was Kevin. He played the Red White Siege, but he named the double your combat trigger option.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, and he was just like removing opponent's creature or whatever. It was just like, okay, attack for 6 every turn. Yeah, I hadn't seen that option. Maybe I saw it once in a draft game, but it's rarely correct. But when it's correct, it's probably going to be pretty strong. But there we
We're
go. Yeah, war
really seeing the
efforts.
power of Dragonstorm Globe.
Oh yeah,
Um, Chris's card that he drew for turn was a Molten Exhale, which will at least be able to deal with this dragon.
yeah. Dragonstorm Globe has kind of been like it's going to be like I'm going to remember this card like for years. When somebody says Tarkir Dragonstorm, that's the card that's going to come to mind. I think that I
Yeah, I would
associate with
I
the
would
set.
say format defining, and I have 3 in my league deck, so
I
also defining for my.
I am playing all of my Dragonstorm Globes, which is to say 0 copies. Yeah, and it's crazy because like Manolith has just basically become a card that's not playable anymore, and they always try and like tack bonuses on it, and it's never good enough. It seems like they try and make better versions of it, do a little this, maybe scry, do something, uh, but they found the right code this time. Yeah, so last card in hand for Nick is another threat here, the Gurmag Angler, the big zombie fish with Delve.
And just another creature that is
Just
really
big.
hard to deal with.
It's just big.
Except for these detainments, I don't remember how many he had, but most of his removal will not handle either of those big creatures.
Yeah, so it looks like we could be on the victory of on the might be on the edge of a teamer victory here. Looking pretty okay going into the last turn here.
Uh, it's good.
And I mean, like Chris, like he kind of did what he was supposed to do in the face of these dragons. Like he removed the dragons with Stormplane Detainments. He just didn't draw enough creatures, couldn't stick a threat. But
Yeah, no early pressure
yeah,
uh, that he could then back up with the removal. So Nick was able to go over the top pretty easily.
yeah, that's been the problem with these aggro leaning decks. It's hard to make a consistent aggro deck, especially with 60 cards. So we
Yeah.
are gonna be looking like the game's gonna end here. Yeah. So another land here means a victory for Nick S and the teamer. So congratulations to Nick on the victory here in our first match, and we'll see everybody back for our second match in a little bit.